Hey guys, welcome back to the second installment of our DIY Dream Garage. If you tuned in so far, you know that our garage space now has insulated walls and a ceiling, as well as plenty of light for recording future videos. Now it's time to clean up our space and make it look a little bit more presentable and enjoyable to be in. Guys, before I get wheeling in the toolboxes and workbenches and air compressors and all the equipment that's gonna line the walls of this garage, I need to get some paint on the walls while I have an empty space. But before I get started, I gotta get changed. Let's roll. So that's one coat of primer. I'll hit it with a coat of paint and be done with the walls. Guys, rather than watch paint dry in the garage, I'm gonna show you the final coats we're gonna put on the walls and ceiling. The walls will get a white and the ceiling is getting a little bit less of a white. And the reason that these are two different colors is because they came off the return rack at Home Depot. If you get a color you don't like, you can return the can to Home Depot and they'll resell it for $9 a can. So if you're not handcuffed to a certain color, this is a no-brainer. So now we're going to work on the ceiling paint. So it's not white. It's actually not even close to white. Another reason why I think I might like this color is because the lights themselves are 5000 K temperature. The idea is that they're daylight temperature, but they do seem a little blue, especially when everything else in the room is white. So I think having the vanilla ice cream color on the ceiling will balance it out a little bit. So let's get this mixed up, poured, and finish up the ceiling. The lights are in, the walls are painted, the garage door still looks ugly as sin, but honestly everything looks really, really nice overall, especially the ceiling and the walls. They came a long way. If you guessed it, the floor is next. So we're going to talk about our epoxy floor, but as for right now, It's been a long day with a lot of overhead rolling. I gotta get some sleep, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Hey guys, welcome back. It's the next day, and we're officially starting our garage floor. Now we're gonna do an epoxy coating, which means we have to do a really good job in terms of preparation of the concrete. We wanna get really good adhesion with our product on our concrete, so we're gonna use a diamond blade on the bottom of a floor polisher. Now, even before we get to the floor polisher, we have to fill in any defects and bring the floor up to level, because our finish will not make up for any cracks or defects in the concrete. So without further ado, let's find our cracks and fill them in. So this is the type of crack that I'm talking about filling in. Now, although it looks small to you, the epoxy won't do a good job in terms of filling this in. And we don't want this eyesore to be our only defect on the concrete after all the hard work we're gonna put into making it look really nice. So I'll use a 4.5-inch diamond blade on an angle grinder. I'll clean up the edges, clean it out with a vacuum, and get it ready for some filler. So we want to give ample time for the patchwork to dry on the floor before we hit it with the angle grinder. Now I'm going to work on this back wall while that dries. What we want to do ultimately is have a workbench here with a toolbox underneath, as well as a workbench and toolbox over here. I'm going to have a TV up on the wall, maybe catty-cornered, but I'd like to have an accent wall behind the workbenches. Now I have extra supplies from our last video when we did the drywall ceiling, meaning I have a bunch of tape and drywall compound. So what I'll do is I'll tape out what the grout lines would look like if this were a brick wall. Did he just say grout instead of mortar? And then I'll cover the whole thing in drywall compound. Once I have it covered, I'll peel off the tape, leaving behind what looks like a brick wall. So I'm gonna put it on time lapse, and I hope you enjoy. So now hopefully you understand what I was talking about. The tape represents where the grout would be between the bricks. He did say grout instead of mortar. What an idiot. And now it's time to freaking lather it up. So for what went into it, I think it looks really good. It's about 15 bucks for a bucket of compound and a few dollars for a roll of tape. Now, this isn't going to be the focus of the wall. Of course, there's going to be a toolbox and a television and tools hanging from the wall, but I think it adds a really nice touch for the background. Now, this is going to dry much lighter than it looks right now, and then we'll have to touch it up with paint to make it look like whatever color brick we want to. But for now, our compound is wet, our concrete mix is wet. We got to let this stuff dry, and I'll see you in about 12 hours. Well guys, just an update. It's been about 8 hours and our concrete mix looks to be drying pretty dark, but of course that doesn't matter as we're going to be grinding it down and coating it with an epoxy. As far as our wall goes, it's still soaking wet. I did apply that compound pretty thick. I imagine it's going to take at least a few days for that to dry before it's sandable and paintable. Guys, as much as I wanted to fit all 3 components of the garage build paint job in one video, there's no way we're going to fit the walls, the ceiling, and the floor into this video. So this is the official ending of part 2 of the Ultimate Dream Garage build, whereas part 3 is going to pick up in the tool rental department over at Home Depot to pick up our diamond grinder and our floor polisher. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our channel so you can pick up with us on part 3 where we finish outfitting the Ultimate Dream Garage build. If we don't see you between now and then, I wish you a happy and safe few days. Otherwise, guys, if you need us, we'll be in the garage.